What's up, guys? This is the Vinyl Casket, home to lamest taste. My name is Nick, and we are going to be doing a album review on an album that just recently dropped. I want the exact date of May 27th, 2022. It is June 4th, so that came out at the beginning of the week. I've been listening to this album nonstop since it dropped, since I was since I had that correlation. Um, so we're gonna do a really sick album review on this. Just make sure I fix all that. And all right, so boom, this is the new Scary Kids Scaring Kids album, Out of Life, released May 27th, 2022. Yeah, Scary Kids Scaring Kids is a band that I grew up listening to. I remember when they broke up, when they went on indefinite hiatus. I remember listening to was it Snake Woman? Like, that was a sick song. They were really big in the metalcore scene, and they were just really popular. I felt like, and they were one of those bands that was like a gem band because they broke up so early on. Like, I think they broke up like 2009. So like all throughout high school, they weren't a band for me. So like those were one of those bands that like were so good, and I was like, oh, like same thing with like Under Oath. Like when they were on hiatus, like I was like, this band is like a gem. Like because there's nothing coming out from them, and they're already so good. Like nothing will ever touch them. So it's so crazy that in the wake of their lead singers, passing away, and they wanted to commemorate him, and there was an anniversary with their first album that they did a whole anniversary tour with Cove, the former lead singer of Seosin. um and they did a whole tour with him, and like this really interesting lineup. And then they said, okay, we're gonna do a new album. And right now they're touring with Kurt Travis, formerly of Dance Gavin Dance and A Lot Like Birds, and also the current lead singer of Royal Coda. Um, and it's sick. It's really sick because the way they did it, they didn't just say, okay, Cove or Kurt is the lead singer. That's it. No, they said we're gonna do a new album, right, with this lineup, but every song is gonna have a different lead vocalist. Every single song has a different vibe, different delivery, different tone, completely different, sick track list. So we have uh 12 songs, a runtime of 47 minutes and 51 seconds. Um I got to do this differently than I do most of my album reviews because I'm talking about a different singer in every song. There's 13 different singers because the second to last song features two people. Features a main singer and a featured artist, which is really interesting. Um, so we'll just go track by track off of this, um, and just talk a little bit about who each singer is. Um, and I think it's really cool. So, the first track of the album is Nightmare, featuring Spencer from Ice Nine Kills. So you get like a really cool horror aesthetic vibe with his really high uh, vocals and his screams, which kind of match what like Scary Kids used to do, which is really cool. Then you have The Dark, which features Noah Sebastian. Then you have To the Unknown, featuring Veins. I think that's how you say it. Veins, I'm pretty sure, was a touring guitarist for them at one point. So that was really cool. Then Until You Come Back, which is Matt McDonald, which is, I always forget. I believe he's something Crimes. Favorite Crimes or something, which is a band that used to tour with Scary Kids all the time back in the day. So that was a really emotional song because you hear it like him like talking about like not having a chance and wishing he shared more with their lead singer. Um, After that, you have one of my favorite songs, which is the Knock It All Down, featuring Little Lotus, which is sick. because that's like a complete circle kind of thing. 'Cause obviously, Little Lotus was inspired by metalcore and was in metalcore bands, and then did the whole emo rap thing. Is now making like pop punk music, kind of, while also being in like a screamo band. From first to last, no, from first to last is two members of the band. No, If I Die First. So like that's really interesting because that's like a full moment there. Followed by New Morning featuring Cove from Seosin that did that whole anniversary tour with them. Um, and then Omens featuring Spencer Chamberlain, which is really cool. Spencer Chamberlain being the guy from um, Under Oath, which is a band I just mentioned before. Black Hole featuring Donovan, which is the guy from Hail the Sun. I Want to Know featuring Jesse Cash. Escape My Reality featuring Modson, which might be my favorite song on the album, because not just because I like Modson as with his current pop punk styling. I love Modson as a character, as like a human being. I think he's awesome. But I really enjoy the fact that that's another full circle moment, being that Modson was their drummer, was Scary Kid Scary King's drummer for like 2008 to 2009. So like that whole last year, the band being around, all like the final tours, the final dates, he was part of that band. Like he was part of Scary Kids as the drummer. So now to be able to be the vocalist on a Scary Kids track is so cool. Especially because those Scary Kid tours were the first time that Modson was able to perform as Modson as the opener. Like he was doing the hippie hop stuff as like the opener. Like that was his first ever tours. It was like he'd go on and do that stuff and then he'd go drum. And it's so cool that like this band gave him his first platform, like his first live platform to be the current act that he's evolved into. And now that he's back into this genre of music, making this genre of music again, he's able to jump back into this band that gave him his first shot as Modson and be a featured artist on this song. And the only other thing that would be cooler than that would be Modson on a Four Letter Lie song, that being his main band that he was a drummer in. Um, and then following that, you have two more songs. You have Endlessly Yours featuring Tyler Posey and Femme, which is really cool. Femme being, I don't know, because I originally thought she was like a hyper pop-ish artist, and she has some hyper pop level songs, but she's all over the place with pop punk, with like pop bangers, with like some crazy features, um, all over the place, right? She does such good shit, and um, her delivery on this song is phenomenal. She's a feature artist. Tyler Posey being more well known as Teen Wolf, the main actor in Teen Wolf. Um, Also being a guy who's been in pop punk bands for the last couple of years, that I never really got into any of his music. I listened to a couple of his solo songs the other day. And I actually think he's getting to the point where I like, oh, it's bearable. But this song, his delivery was perfect, and he's done some songs with Femme featured on them before, and they're really good. So this song was just like that final like chef's kiss. And then finally, the final song is for Atlas featuring Michael from Micah Relocate. Is that how you say Micah Relocate? Which was a crazy metalcore band that I used to love while growing up, and I thought that was such a cool, like the whole song, like selection, the artist selection here was really interesting. I do wish that there was a Kurt Travis song, being that he is their touring singer right now. I really wish they would have recorded that. Hopefully, like we get like a bonus track or a single one day with a Kurt Travis song. I think that would be awesome to hear a fully recorded, fully mixed and mastered Kurt Travis performance from them. Being that I'm a massive Kurt Travis fan, I would love to see like these musicians with him. It's so cool. Um, Another person, I know they did some shows with Craig Mabbitt as the singer. That would have been a full circle moment. That would have been really cool. Um, yeah, I really do enjoy this though. I think my favorite songs of this album would be "Endlessly Yours," "Escape My Reality," "New Morning," and a tie between "Nightmare" and "Knock It All Down." Um, awesome album work. I am waiting for my vinyl, my copy, my record from this that I did pre-order. There were delays, so it might not be coming out until like October or December, which is really upsetting because I was hoping to have this when I did the review, so I could do the vinyl review and the album review. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. I waited like a year for my little Tracy Anarchy album. I waited like almost a year for um my copy of Jokes on You by Gucci High Waters. So like I'm used to like waiting like a long time, which sucks. But you know, it is what it is. Really solid album, amazing tracks. I don't think there's a single dud here. I think it's really unique because every song has a different vocalist. You don't get bored of like it tonally or delivery wise because no song has the same delivery, no song has the same tone, no song has the same vocal mixing. Every song is completely different. It's like listening to a playlist on shuffle, and the musicians give a different performance every time. Like while you can tell it's the same guys, their approach to each vocalist was so cool, but it also does feel like a song that fits under the Scary Kids Scaring Kids banner. Hardest name to ever say. But yeah, I'm so excited that Out of Light is finally here. I remember when they announced it, I was really excited on how this was going to happen and how they were going to do this. And I think they succeeded. I think this is great. I think that their original singer would be so happy to see this. Um, so cool. Um, yeah, so the original singer was Tyson Stevens. He passed away in, I believe, 2014. And it sucks because, like, he was an amazing vocalist. He really was. And this band did some in the short time that they were like on top of the world, they did so much and then they were gone for a really long time, which sucks. Um I believe they were only really on a major record label for like a year. So this band could have done so much. You could just tell by these musicians picking it up, all these years later, like 15 years later and just kicking ass. It's just so interesting. Yeah, but that's all I really have to say. It's a definite listen for me. 5 out of 5. It's one of my favorite albums of this year. Um, so far, I know I've reviewed a Terror album. I reviewed Smart Death. I know I reviewed someone else. Um, but yeah, I would think that this album has topped every album that I've reviewed so far. There's a couple other albums I really need to review, but I just haven't. Um, like the Harry Styles album, I just don't know what I would even say. It's so speechless to me how good that album is. But yeah, check out my YouTube channel at The Vinyl Casket, where you can subscribe, like, and comment for tons of more content, including TV and movie reviews, trailer reactions, album reviews, a weekly show where I review the comics I've read that week. You can check out Manny Reads Comics every Tuesday on YouTube for the weekly roundup. I have someone I'm in talks with of doing my first ever interview, like open ended interview thing, which is something that when I first started doing Twitch and finally committed to my YouTube channel, I really always wanted to do interviews. It was something I did a lot, not personally, but I helped on a lot of interviews in college, right? and I helped produce them, and I helped people write out stuff, and I was always about freehanding it. Like, just know basic topics about the things that you're going to talk about and the person you're going to talk about, and just wing it. And that might be happening soon. So this channel has a lot of potential. Tell your friends, tell all your friends, tell all your friends. That's all I gotta say. Taking Back Sunday, 2020,000. And remember to stay lame.